that nearer to the centre of this storm, over southwest England, over the Bristol Channel, ships were already heading for shelter.
What if the discovery of Noah's Ark could change everything we know about ancient history? From legendary boats to mysterious ships, incredible finds could reveal hidden secrets of the past. Shocking secrets hidden inside Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark has captured imaginations for centuries, with people wondering, could the story be real? Over the years, adventurers, scientists, and believers have searched for answers, and the legend has grown stronger. Let's journey back to 1959 in Turkey. An army captain named İlhan Durupınar was on an aerial reconnaissance mission, snapping photos of the Turkish highlands for NATO. As he flew over rugged terrain, something unusual caught his eye, an odd shape nestled in the rocks, far from any water and 6,500 feet above sea level. The photos revealed what looked like a massive boat when they were developed. Could this be Noah's Ark, stranded high on Mount Ararat, just like the Bible describes? The story of Noah and the Ark originates from the book of Genesis. According to the tale, God, frustrated with humanity's wickedness, decided to flood the earth, but spared Noah, his family, and 2 of every animal. The Ark was their salvation, coming to rest on the mountains of Ararat as the waters receded. But here's the twist. Similar flood stories exist in many cultures. The Epic of Gilgamesh, an ancient Mesopotamian poem written over 4,000 years ago, tells of a man who survives a great flood in a boat, much like Noah. Coincidence? Or could these stories be connected? Modern science offers a clue. In the 1990s, researchers studying the Black Sea found evidence of a massive flood around 8,000 years ago. What was once a freshwater lake was overwhelmed by glacial melt, creating a deluge that could have inspired flood legends. Imagine it. Entire communities were wiped out as water rushed in at the rate of 200 Niagara Falls for nearly a year. Back to the Ark. Over the years, claims of its discovery have surfaced repeatedly. In 2010, a team of explorers, mostly evangelicals, announced they had found wooden remains high on Mount Ararat. They even showcased artifacts like petrified wood and ancient rope. Yet, skepticism abounds. Experts often dismiss such findings as natural rock formations or hoaxes. Even if we never uncover the Ark, the enduring allure of this story speaks to something more profound. Flood tales, from Noah to Gilgamesh, remind us of humanity's resilience. They are not just about survival, but about starting over and finding hope after devastation. Whether myth or history, these stories connect us to our shared past, where overcoming disaster is a testament to the human spirit. So, is Noah's Ark still out there, frozen in time? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The Lost Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is one of the most fascinating artifacts in biblical history, wrapped in mystery and meaning. Unlike Noah's Ark, which saved life during the Great Flood, this Ark was a sacred chest deeply connected to God's presence and the journey of the Israelites. So, what exactly was the Ark of the Covenant? According to the Bible, it was a chest made from acacia wood, designed under God's instructions to Moses in Exodus 25. It wasn't just any chest, it was gold-plated inside and out, with 4 gold rings at its corners and gold-covered rods for carrying. The lid, known as the mercy seat, featured 2 golden angels with wings outstretched, facing each other. This wasn't just decoration. God promised to meet with his people between the cherubim, making the Ark a symbol of his presence. Inside the Ark were 3 incredibly significant items. The first was the stone tablets with the 10 Commandments, representing God's covenant with his people. Second, a jar of manna, the miraculous bread that sustained the Israelites during their 40 years in the wilderness, was a reminder of God's provision. Lastly, there was Aaron's rod, which miraculously sprouted buds to confirm his role as a priest. These items told how God taught, provided for, and led his people. The Ark wasn't just a treasure chest, but central to the Israelites' faith and journey. In Joshua 3, the priests carried the Ark into the water, when the Israelites faced the daunting task of crossing the Jordan River. As they stepped in, the river stopped flowing, allowing everyone to cross safely. The Ark symbolizes God's power and guidance. Another famous moment involving the Ark was during the Battle of Jericho in Joshua 6. The Israelites were instructed to march around the city's fortified walls for 7 days, carrying the Ark in the procession. On the 7th day, after a loud shout, the walls miraculously crumbled, and the Israelites claimed victory. The Ark wasn't just a symbol, It was a reminder that God was with them every step of the way. But where is the Ark now? That's the mystery. After being placed in King Solomon's temple, it disappeared from history. Some say it's hidden. Others believe it was lost or destroyed. Whatever its fate, the Ark of the Covenant remains a powerful symbol of faith, reminding us of God's presence and the incredible stories of perseverance, trust, and triumph. The Barkie of Ra, boat of millions of years. The sun god Ra's journey across the sky in his legendary solar bark is a tale of light, life, and the eternal battle between order and chaos. In ancient Egyptian mythology, Ra didn't just shine from above. He sailed through the heavens and the underworld, ensuring balance and renewal in the universe. Ra traveled in the Manjet by day, also known as the boat of millions of years. This golden vessel carried him across the sky, providing light and warmth to the world. His journey was divided into 12 sections, each representing 1 hour of the day, overseen by protective deities. As the sun set, Ra's adventure grew more perilous. He entered the market, the horizon, where his bark transformed into the Mesektet, a vessel suited for the dark and treacherous waters of the underworld known as the Duat. In the Duat, Ra adopted a ram-headed form called Afu-Ra, and was joined by powerful allies like Sia, the god of perception, Heka, the god of magic, and the protective serpent Mayhen. Together, they faced the 12 gates of the underworld, each guarded by a deity and marking the 12 hours of the night. This nightly voyage wasn't just a peaceful sail, but a battle of chaos. At the forefront of this struggle was Apophis, the serpent of darkness and disorder, who tried every night to devour Ra's boat and extinguish the sun forever. Ra and his companions, including the storm god Seth, fought off the serpent's attacks, ensuring the world wouldn't be plunged into eternal darkness. As dawn approached, Ra emerged victorious, reborn with the rising sun to begin his journey anew. The Egyptians saw Ra's daily resurrection as a symbol of hope and renewal. His triumph over darkness reinforced their belief in Ma'at, the divine order and balance that kept the world functioning. This idea wasn't just about the sun rising and setting, it reflected life's birth, death, and rebirth cycles. The image of Ra's solar bark was so significant that it appeared in tombs and temples as a source of protection and guidance for the deceased in their journey through the afterlife. The discovery of physical solar boats, like the one near the Great Pyramid of Giza, shows how deeply this belief was rooted. These vessels were thought to carry the pharaoh's souls alongside Ra, joining his eternal quest. Ra's journey wasn't just a myth, it was a powerful reminder of life's cyclical nature, where even the darkest night is followed by the light of a new day. The Black Sea, shipwrecks. Deep in the Black Sea, a treasure trove of ancient shipwrecks has been quietly resting for centuries, hidden in the murky waters. These wrecks, discovered in 2017, offer us a rare glimpse into the past, preserved by the sea's unique conditions. The Black Sea's deep, oxygen-free waters are a perfect time capsule, preventing wood-eating organisms from destroying these ancient ships. It all started in the 1970s when a scientist named Willard Bascom suggested that these waters might hold secrets from the past. Since then, researchers have found dozens of well-preserved ships, some dating back to the Roman and Byzantine empires. These ships, resting 100 to 300 meters below the surface, tell stories of ancient trade and seafaring. The wrecks are remarkably intact, with some even having their masts and cargo still in place, untouched by time. One of the most incredible finds was a ship named Sinop D, discovered at a depth of 320 meters. From around 410-520 Anno Domini, this ship is in astonishingly good condition. Its entire hull and cargo are buried in sediment, but everything is well preserved, as if the boat had just sunk. The sight of the mast still standing 11 meters high is like stepping back in time. Researchers believe this wreck was part of a thriving trade route, and it offers us a rare look at how ships were built and used in the late Roman period. Other wrecks, like those near Sinop, reveal mounds of ancient shipping jars called amphorae, likely used to carry goods like olive oil, wine, or fish sauce. These jars are perfectly stacked on the seafloor, showing how the ship must have settled before being buried in sediment. Each wreck reveals clues about how people lived, traded, and traveled across the sea centuries ago. The discovery of these wrecks is more than just finding old ships. It's like unlocking a secret vault of history, These ships hold stories of ancient civilizations and their interactions across the Black Sea. Preserving these wrecks gives us a rare chance to understand the past, offering a direct link to those who sailed these waters long ago. It's like a hidden world, finally brought to the surface. The sunken city of Thonis Heracleion, Egypt. Beneath the waves of the Mediterranean, a secret was waiting to be uncovered. An ancient Egyptian city with ships and boats discovered underwater in the Mediterranean that had been lost for over 1,000 years. It reveals extensive maritime activity and trade in the ancient world. This city, called Thonis Heracleion, once stood proudly by the Nile's western mouth, guarding the entrance to Egypt. It was a bustling port, filled with ships and traders from all over the Mediterranean. Among the most striking features was the statue of Hapi, the god of the Nile, who stood tall at the city's entrance, overseeing the life-giving floods of the river. But then, around the 2nd century BC, disaster struck. A tremor shook the ground, and slowly, the city began to sink into the sea, lost under layers of sand and silt. For centuries, Thonis Heracleion disappeared from memory, until, in the early 2000s, divers working off the Egyptian coast made a stunning discovery. They found fragments of Hapi's statue, salt-encrusted but intact, and beneath it, the ruins of a lost world, temples, jewelry, coins, and even ships. This discovery has opened a window into an ancient city that was once a vibrant trade and culture hub. Thonis Heracleion was more than just a port. It was the gateway between Egypt and the Mediterranean. Ships across the seas would dock here, carrying everything from grain to perfume, while Egyptian goods like papyrus and wine were sent out into the world. The city's canals and harbors were buzzing with activity, connecting Egypt to far-off lands. Over time, archaeologists used advanced technology like sonar and magnetometers to map out the sunken city. They uncovered towering statues, inscriptions, and even artifacts like animal sarcophagi and intricate pottery. One of the most exciting finds was a black stele, or stone tablet, which detailed ancient Egyptian taxes and trade laws, shedding light on how the empire managed its economy. This discovery is even more extraordinary because it reveals how intertwined Egypt was with Greek and Mediterranean cultures. Thonis Heracleion wasn't just an Egyptian city, it was a crossroads of ancient civilizations where Egyptian, Greek, and other cultures met and mingled. Thanks to these underwater discoveries, we're uncovering the hidden secrets of a city that was once the heart of Egypt's maritime trade. It's like finding a forgotten history chapter of stories waiting to be told. The Royal Charter's sunken gold treasures. The Royal Charter, a ship owned by Gibbs, Bright, and Copsey from Liverpool, was one of the fastest and most famous ships of its time. During the Australian gold rush of 1859, it was packed with 452 passengers, including men, women, and children, and a cargo of gold worth £320,000. Unfortunately, disaster struck on the last leg of its journey from Melbourne to Liverpool. A massive storm hit the Irish Sea on October 25, 1859, and it became known as the Royal Charter Storm because of the following tragedy. Captain Taylor faced a tough choice: seek shelter at Holyhead or press on to Liverpool. He chose to keep going, but the storm worsened. When the ship reached Point Linus, the captain signaled to the pilot boat for help, but the waves were too strong. The Royal Charter's anchors failed, and the ship was driven toward the rocks of Malfray Bay. By the early hours of October 26th, it crashed into the rocks and broke into two pieces. The wreck claimed at least 459 lives, with some passengers drowning after trying to swim to shore, weighed down by gold they carried in their pockets. But not everyone perished. A brave sailor named Joseph Rogers swam ashore with a rope and helped rescue 39 survivors. The ship was carrying 79,000 ounces of gold, insured for £322,000. The wreck site was so famous that even Charles Dickens visited the area shortly after, describing the haunting scene in his writing. The Royal Charter disaster left a lasting impact, and the wreck was shrouded in mystery for years. However, recent discoveries have shed new light on this maritime catastrophe. Artifacts from the wreck, like a miniature model of the ship's propeller system and bullet molds, have been uncovered. These relics reveal secrets about the ship's design and the people who lived and died there. One can still feel the weight of the tragedy when visiting the site today. The memorial at Malfray and the graves in the nearby churchyard, where Reverend Stephen Roos Hughes tended to the bodies of the victims, serve as reminders of those lost in the storm. This hidden chapter of history fascinates and inspires those who discover its secrets. The Titanic wreck, North Atlantic Ocean. The story of the Titanic's wreck is mystery, tragedy, and discovery. Found in 1985, this legendary ship lies 12,500 feet beneath the ocean's surface, about 600 kilometers off the coast of Newfoundland. The Titanic's sinking still holds a lot of unanswered questions, even a century later. From the mysterious actions of nearby ships to the ship's strange behavior before sinking, the story puzzles experts. One of the biggest mysteries is why the Titanic split in two before it fell. When the wreck was discovered in 1985, it was clear that the ship had broken apart. Some researchers think it was because of faulty rivets in the hull, while others believe the pressure of water rushing in caused the ship's structure to fail. Either way, this remains a key question. Another strange discovery was the ship's lifeboats. The Titanic only had 20 lifeboats, which could carry just over half of the people aboard. This barely met legal requirements, but seemed odd for such a luxurious ship. The ship's designer, Alexander Carlisle, initially proposed 64 lifeboats, but that number was cut, and the reasons for the changes are still unclear. Some even speculate that Carlisle's departure from the shipyard had to do with this decision. Then there's the issue of binoculars. A pair of binoculars was found among the wreckage, but the crew never used them. It turns out that a sailor, David Blair, had forgotten to leave the key to the binoculars storage locker when he was reassigned at the last minute. Could the crash have been avoided if the crew had binoculars to spot the iceberg sooner? This unanswered question lingers. Another strange part of the story involves nearby ships. The Californian was the closest to the Titanic when it sank, yet they didn't help. Captain Lord of the Californian claimed they were too far away, but witnesses later insisted they saw another ship nearby. Some believe a Norwegian sealing ship, the Samson, may have also been near the Titanic, but was trying to avoid detection for illegal activities. This mysterious ship's role is still debated. And what about the Titanic's band? They famously played music as the ship went down, but what was the last song? Some survivors claim it was "Nearer, My God, to Thee," but no one truly knows. These secrets and many others still hide beneath the waves, waiting for answers. The Titanic story is filled with mysteries that will never be fully solved, making it all the more captivating. The Mary Rose, England. The Mary Rose is one of the most fascinating discoveries in maritime history, holding secrets from King Henry VIII's time. Built between 1509 and 1511 in Portsmouth, England, this warship was once the pride of the Tudor Navy. The sinking of the Mary Rose, a famous Tudor warship, is still mysterious, with many unanswered questions about how and why it went down. Let's uncover some secrets that still baffle historians and scientists today. The main question surrounding Mary Rose's sinking is what caused it. Some say it was due to cannon fire from the French during a battle in 1545. However, the English blamed a navigational mistake, with the ship capsizing when the crew failed to manage the sails properly. There's also a theory that poor communication between crew members from different countries leads to confusion and mistakes, resulting in disasters. As for the crew, something strange was found during the ship's excavation. Analysis of the remains suggests that many sailors weren't from Britain, but from warmer regions, possibly even as far as Venice. An exciting discovery was the body of a man near a gun, suggesting he might have been a gunner from Venice, adding to the ship's international mystery. While Mary Rose's wreck has been partially recovered, significant parts of the boat are still missing. Most notably, the forecastle, the front part of the ship, has never been found, and experts believe its discovery would be a massive breakthrough in understanding the ship's design and history. The timing and exact circumstances of the sinking remain unclear, though eyewitness accounts offer some clues. Some say the ship sank quickly after tilting over, allowing water to flood through open gun ports. A survivor even mentioned that the crew had left the gun ports open after firing, which could have led to the disaster. Others claimed that the ship's captain, Sir George Carew, couldn't control the unruly crew, which might have contributed to the sinking. Surprisingly, there are few records about the crew, even though the Mary Rose was important to the English Navy. Out of the 415 men aboard, only 35 survived, and their remains, scattered across the shipwreck, have given scientists valuable clues. The bones found on the seabed were well preserved and have provided a glimpse into the lives of the sailors who perished, offering new insights into the tragic end of the Mary Rose. These hidden secrets intrigue experts and spark debates about what happened to one of England's most famous ships. Today, the Mary Rose is displayed at the Mary Rose Museum in Portsmouth, where visitors can marvel at this 16th century warship. She's a rare survivor from a critical era in naval history, showcasing innovations like gun ports and a hull design, allowing greater firepower. Once overshadowed by HMS Victory, the Mary Rose now shines as a unique window into the past, telling her story of ambition, tragedy, and rediscovery. A ship that once seemed unlucky is now a beloved historical treasure, the Endurance, Antarctica. The story of Sir Ernest Shackleton's ship Endurance is filled with mysteries that have intrigued people for over a century. In 1915, the ship sank in the icy waters of the Weddell Sea in Antarctica, but its exact location remained a secret for more than 100 years. The ship had been trapped by thick sea ice, and the constantly shifting ice floes made the area dangerous, hiding the wreck from the world. In 2022, a team of explorers called Endurance 22 finally cracked the mystery. Using underwater robots and advanced technology, they found the shipwreck at a depth of over 9,800 feet, about 4 miles from where the ship had been abandoned. What they discovered was nothing short of astonishing. Endurance was perfectly preserved, almost like a frozen time capsule, thanks to the frigid depths of the Weddell Sea. The bold gold letters spelling Endurance were still visible on the ship's stern, and the wheel and guardrails stood proud, untouched by time. Even the broken foremast lay precisely where it had fallen. What made this find even more incredible was how well the ship had been preserved. The cold, dark waters of the Weddell Sea protected it from decay. Although parts of the boat showed some wear and the paint had faded in places, the structure remained strong. The timber planks still gleamed in the light of the underwater cameras, giving us a glimpse of a ship that had witnessed extraordinary courage and survival. The wreck of Endurance isn't just a ship, it's a living piece of history, a reminder of Shackleton's incredible journey and the resilience of his crew. Shackleton's mission to cross Antarctica ended in disaster when the ship was trapped in the ice. After months of being stuck, Endurance sank, but the crew escaped in lifeboats. They faced brutal conditions but made their way to Elephant Island, eventually being rescued after Shackleton made a heroic trek for help. The discovery of the Endurance is a hidden secret of the past, revealing the story of a ship and the untold tale of human perseverance. Shackleton's family motto was, "By endurance we conquer." This remarkable finding proves just how true that was. The Clotilda, USA. In 1860, a ship called Clotilda made its way across the Atlantic, carrying 110 Africans to the United States, long after the country had banned the importation of enslaved people. This ship's journey was shrouded in secrecy, and the boat itself was torched and sunk to hide the evidence. Clotilda remained hidden at the bottom of the Mobile River in Alabama for over a century, a secret lost to time. But in 2019, after years of searching, researchers finally discovered the wreckage of this fateful ship, unveiling a hidden chapter of American history. The discovery of Clotilda is incredibly significant. It's the last known ship to bring enslaved people directly from Africa to the US, making it a crucial piece of the puzzle that tells the story of the transatlantic slave trade. The connection to the people brought over on the ship is even more remarkable. When slavery ended, these individuals couldn't return home. Instead, they created a community in Alabama called Africatown, where the history of their painful journey lived on through stories passed down by generations. The Clotilda story has always been well documented, making this discovery even more powerful. Historians had already pieced together the lives of the people on board, thanks to interviews and even film footage of the last known survivor, Cudjoe Lewis. In a now famous interview by author Zora Neale Hurston, Lewis recalled his terrifying capture and the strange new world he found himself in once he arrived in America. His memories and those of others from Clotilda bring the past to life in a way few historical events can. What makes the wreck so remarkable is its condition. Hidden deep in the river for over 150 years, the ship is in incredible preservation. The Clotilda is more than just a ship. It symbolizes survival, resistance, and history. For the residents of Africatown, this discovery holds special meaning. Many are descendants of those brought over on the Clotilda, and the wreck brings a long-lost part of their history back to the surface. This hidden piece of the past offers a powerful reminder of the resilience of those who endured unimaginable hardships. It's not just a discovery of a ship, it's a discovery of the human stories that have been kept alive for generations. In conclusion, discovering Noah's Ark and other mysterious ships could completely change our understanding of ancient history. These incredible finds hint at forgotten civilizations, lost technologies, and hidden secrets of the past. As researchers continue to explore these vessels, we may uncover truths that rewrite everything we know about human history and our connection to the past. The journey to find these ancient secrets is only just beginning.